Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmasters. A very warm welcome to meeting number 100 of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. I'm Toastmaster Sudhir, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Our club's mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. As a sergeant at arms, I must highlight some key points for today's meeting. The meeting is blocked for 2 hours, and we urge you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefit out of it. Your video should be on, your audio should be off. Audio should be on only when you are called or need to speak. Regarding topics related to sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International does not restrict speaking on these topics, at the Gabbys Toastmaster clubs, we request everyone to be mindfully responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. We urge you to be cognizant that we as a club practice diversity and inclusion in letter and spirit. Hence, ensuring that there is no sexist, racist, or other undertone that creates hostility and discomfort for the members or the guests. Now, let me call upon the presiding officer for today's meeting, this meeting number 100. An experienced B2B sales professional and certified soft skill trainer with a decade of industrial exposure, currently pursuing a full-time master's degree in the United States. She is a mindful introvert striving to become a profound public speaker. Grateful for the camaraderie of the Toastmasters fraternity, she actively serves as a club mentor, club coach, and an area director across various districts. While continuously learning and growing through her pathways, she also serves as the president of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. She says, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream another dream. Please help me with the welcoming presiding officer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Smruti Sagarika Mohanty. Over to you, presiding officer Smruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudhir. And can we please hear it for our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sudhir Gaur? Indeed, dreams and goals are what the driving source of an individual or a Toastmasters club. With that intent, it's always a pleasure. And this time, it's a more honor to invite to welcome all of you to a very special number meeting here. So I hereby call the 100th meeting of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club to order. 100 meetings. That's 100 opportunities to speak up, to heard, to grow, to fumble, to rise again, and to clap for the others who rise along with us. 100 is more than a number today. Today, it's a journey which we have achieved to transform ourselves in our respective journey, isn't it? So, welcome once again, morning, afternoon, and evening from wherever you are signing into the 100th meeting of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. Before we dive in more to the meeting, let's help me to understand few of our guests or visiting Toastmasters more. This helps us to build the camaraderie along the journey of transformation. So, with a quick 30-second, if you would like to introduce yourself, let us know your name, from where you are signing in today, and what brought you to the Gabby's meeting. If I see anyone new, Well, to the best part about Toastmaster, you know everybody here in this particular meeting. So glad to have everyone, but I want to give the stage to someone. May I request our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sudhir. Sudhir, how was your recent experience in the past 1 week? And as you are joining us after a short break, would you like to share something to our members and the visiting Toastmasters? Sudhir, you are on mute and also off camera. I hope I didn't put you on a spot. Okay, by the time he chip into the meeting, may I request Sri Lakshmi? Sri Lakshmi, are you here with us? Okay, seems the evening is quite heavy for few of our members. I
Yeah,
see Sri
thanks,
Lakshmi
Smruti.
unmuting. Hey, hi. Sri Lakshmi, you're not new, but comparatively new to the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. And today's meeting is the 100th meeting of the Gabbys Online. Would you like to share something, a quick 30-second experience with us, with our visiting Toastmasters as well?
Sure, Smruti. Sorry, I will not be able to come on camera though.
Works.
But I guess for me, it's been an incredible journey from the time I started as a guest and started. I guess I just took only one session being as a guest, and then I wanted to register and be part of the Gabby's family. That's how my journey started. I guess initially it was all about all the roles, understanding the format of a Toastmaster meeting, and now I've got a confidence of the format and started giving my own speeches. I guess it's been an incredible journey and a lot of learning along this path, and looking forward to enhancing my knowledge even further with the Gabby's community. Yeah, thank you, and over to
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much, Sri Lakshmi. Can we hear it for her? Now, again, may I put someone else on the spot? May I request Gurdeet? Gurdeet, would you like to share a quick 30-second experience with the Gabbies online?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
my story is same like the other speaker who just spoke now. That it was only first meeting when I came to Gabby's and saw that how it happens and how things take place here. And I immediately wanted to register myself and get on with the journey here. And it is quite exciting till now.
Thank you so much, Gurdeep, for taking that call. And it's our honor that you are part of this learning and growing maybe a journey. Yeah, that's exactly with the Gabbies online. So let's strive and thrive together here. Well, indeed. If you want to introduce yourself, please use the chat option. If it is restricted to host, don't worry, the host will share with the common audience again. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat window. And second part, I always reiterate, you are, rather we all are connecting in a virtual platform. Best part about Zoom is the lovely emoticons. Do not shy away. We are here to use the AI in a better manner. And that's also the theme of today's particular meeting. Well, before I dive into that, we all are familiar, I see familiar faces, and we all know that the Toastmaster International is a global non-profit organization started as its legacy, and we are continuing the same over past 100 years. Again, 100, a big number. The platform which offers a podium for each one of us to learn, to grow in our speeches, to be a better communicator, a better leader, someone who can also connect, network with people, and leverage the same in their respective professional life. Indeed, a very structured platform which offers enormous success in our respective fields to go. Well, Gabby's Online is no different. We are an international club that meets online, welcomes the diversity, and celebrates the creativity of each and every individual. For you, Gabby's is a family of three clubs. The Gabby's Online Toastmasters Club meets on Tuesday with a special focus on speech and evaluation. The Gabby's International Toastmasters Club meets every Thursday, where you get a different blend but a special focus on the table topic marathon and a combination of educational speeches. And the Saturday meeting, which is a hybrid meeting where we offer everything on a platter. The in well-structured meeting with a fine touch of a joke master. That's more towards the Gabbies for you. Now here, Drum roll, please, because I have a very special announcement. And for the special announcement, I have to do a special change to my Zoom background. So here it is for you. Again, it's an absolute pleasure to invite you to the upcoming Gabbys Day. So please save your date for 14th June 2025, where we are going to celebrate the Gabbys Day, the Gabbys family of the entire Three Club. It is going to be a fun-filled, inspiring, inspirational, and one-of-a-kind event to celebrate our journey together. So, a cordial invitation to each one of you. If you want to know more about the same, you can definitely connect our three Santa Terms, and all three are here in this particular meeting. You can connect with Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, Toastmaster Sri Hari Acharya, or Toastmaster Sudhir Gaur here. They will definitely guide you through the process more. Now, again, you saw a lot of creativity. You saw the global platform of Zoom where we do connect. What are all these? These are technologies which I sometimes don't understand, but that makes our life so easy. So, to know more about the AI, to be specific, what's happening around the globe, and how this journey can be made useful in an effective manner, we need to invite someone who is special. Someone who believes in collaboration, someone who is here serving in the role of the Vice President of Public Relationship, an apt role for a very wise individual. So please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ankur. For you, Toastmaster Ankur is an enthusiastic software engineer who merges his passion for technology with a desire to learn, frequently seeking out new locations to read and expand his knowledge. Nevertheless, his real passion lies in animal welfare. Ankur devotes his efforts to enhance the lives of animals and is devoted to fostering enduring changes. Toastmaster Ankur, we are all ears for the exciting segment. Please help me once again welcome Ankur, and the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smruti, for the warm introduction. Greetings, Toastmasters and guests. Before I begin my knowledge sharing session, let me share with you a quick collage of memes around AI, GPT, and all. While you go into it, I would just like to tell the structure of the meeting. Today, we gather to discuss one of the most talked about topics of our time, artificial intelligence. But instead of diving into dramatic headline like "Will AI steal your jobs?", which it may, by the way, we are going to explore something more empowering. How can we use AI to make ourselves better, smarter, and faster? The session will be divided into three parts: the introduction, knowledge sharing, followed by a hands-on session. Since we have a limited time, so we won't be able to explore every angle of AI, but consider this as the first step in a journey, a hands-on journey. The next time we revisit this theme, I would love to hear how each of you have used these ideas in your own lives. But before we begin, let me ask, it has been almost 2.5 years since ChatGPT was launched. I guess it was November 2022. But I want to ask, before I start giving knowledge of what I am going to share and how I use AI, I want some volunteers to share how they have used AI so far. You don't need long answers, just raise of a hand, a shout out, or maybe shout out one word. Even if it's the same with someone like someone else, repeat it. I'll go first. Trip planning is my favorite thing to do with AI. From searching the destinations at a particular season or a month, to finding the hotels to stay, or finding the restaurants where I will go and eat during the trip. That AI has been my go-to travel agent. With that, I see hand of Toastmaster Priya raised. Yes, Priya, please go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
So I do use a few AI tools, one being the paraphrasing app, which is called Quillbot, because being a poet, I keep trying to find better words and, better phrasing of sentences. So I use that sometimes. And of course, I also, as and when required, take the help of ChatGPT.
Great.
Not in a big way, but in a limited way. Yeah.
Thank you, Priya. Yeah. Uh, that I heard the creative case very interesting. I see listener Gurdeep raising his hand.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT for scheduling my learning things. Like if I have to learn something new and if I want to acquire some new skills, so I'll use ChatGPT to have a schedule that okay, on this day I'll be learning this, and just to schedule out my journey.
Great. We would learn more around scheduling and workflows today. I see Toastmaster Sanjay raising his hand.
Yeah, Ankur, there are many tools now available. ChatGPT is one of the tools. Like ideogram, you can do lots of images, which is one of the powerful tool for images. Like that, there are so many tools. Suno app is there, where the songs have been created. You can means match whichever songs you want. You can tell them to sing, and they will sing for you, and you can enjoy the music. Yeah. So means now what I'm seeing is complete change. Earlier we had to depend on person. Now there is no dependency. I think if you know the app, you can go to the app and get it done. So where it will take us, I do not know.
Great. Interesting use cases. Thanks, Sanjay. We have Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, hi Toastmaster Ankur. I guess from the time ChatGPT has been launched, I was pretty new initially, but now it's become the go-to tool for me, be it professional or personally. Anything I need to look up, I've actually stopped looking up on Google, but it's more of ChatGPT. Yeah, any LinkedIn post, anything I want to refine and fine-tune the final content, I guess I use ChatGPT always. But yeah, that was an interesting take of travel. They actually use ChatGPT for it, for planning it up. That's not something that I've used, but might be I'll look it up in the future for it. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah, I think Google as a search engine, they must have seen the usage metrics quite down because they didn't understand our search queries. They just took out the keywords while GPTs understand what we mean to ask. Yeah, with that, I would like to move on to the next section. But before that, I want to give you a teaser so that you guys don't run away once your speeches or roles are done. I'll show you what I created within 1 hour. This is a website that I created for a friend within 1 hour just by talking in English to AI. From any movements you see here, I just asked it, I want some clouds and they should move when I move my pointer. Or I want the images to move. Go and check Apple's website. How do their items move when somebody swipes down? So this whole website was created just on test. I will show you the chat that I did while creating this website and deploying it in the next session. Till then, hang on. And now we move to the prepared speeches section. Before that, I would like to introduce the meeting format for the benefit of the guests. So the structure of today's meeting is a little different from regular meetings. In today's Toastmasters meeting, we have two sections, prepared speech section and second is the evaluation section. Today, each speech will be evaluated by two evaluators. The second evaluator will ensure they do not repeat the same points made by the first one. This approach will provide the speaker with diverse perspectives and richer feedback. It will also challenge the evaluators to elevate their analysis and offer the audience deeper insight and more food for thought. Now, it's time to invite some of the most dynamic and insightful contributors to any Toastmasters meeting, the general evaluator and their dedicated team. They play a crucial role in helping us learn and grow through their constructive feedback. Without further ado, let's welcome our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Harshita. She's a final year business student at Riva University, currently serving as the associate VP at Sunshine Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmaster Harshita.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and thank you, Toastmaster Ankur, for that lovely introduction. We have been hearing what is everywhere: artificial intelligence, AI in that, AI in this, AI everywhere. But has anyone wondered what AI actually is? So artificial intelligence is basically what, from my perspective, what it means is it's essentially this model, right, where you feed in a lot of data and it learns. And that is how it gives you prompts, and that is how, it gives you answers, and that's how it learns. So quite similarly, the general evaluator is someone who evaluates their speakers and evaluates the entire meeting so that they learn and improve themselves as a public speaker. Because at the end of the day, why are we here is to improve ourselves. So with that said, I can't do this alone. So the general evaluator has a team along with her. So I would like to introduce my TAGL team, first being the timer, Toastmaster Saroj Rathod. Toastmaster Saroj is a specialist in business strategy and development with over 10 years of experience. Currently, she's on a parental break, enjoying quality time with her child while pursuing her hobbies of reading, writing, and freehand drawing. Without further ado, let's welcome Toastmaster Saroj. Over to you, Toastmaster Saroj.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone. As a timer, I will time the formal speeches and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the red, yellow, and green card, which denote specific time remaining. For prepared speeches, time limit should the time limit length is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. Similarly, the individual evaluation should limit between the 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Toastmasters. Over to you. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saroj, for that cute timer introduction. With that, moving ahead, we have the R counter for today, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. She is someone who has a unique blend of creativity with logic. She is both a graphic designer and an engineer by education. This rare combination has shaped her perspective, allowing her to approach challenges in both imaginative flair and as well as with analytical precision. She has joined Toastmasters with a clear goal to become a more confident and impactful speaker. So, over to you, Toastmaster Mamta Jain.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Mamta Jain and I am your R counter for today's meeting. The purpose of the R counter role is to listen carefully and note the use of unnecessary words and sounds used by all speakers and role players. My report will focus on 5 key areas. First, filler words such as and Second, inappropriate interjections like and, well, but, so, or you know. Third, crutch words such as basically, actually, this thing, and similar expressions. Fourth, repetitive words or phrases such as I, or this means, this means. Fifth, unintentional pauses, either too long or too short, which may disrupt the flow of speech. I will report my findings at the end of the meeting to help each speaker become more mindful of their verbal pauses and improve their fluency. Over to you, Toastmaster Harshita. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. We have the English teacher in the room, as we Toastmasters call it, the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Priya Singh. So she is a marketing professional and academician in business management. She is passionate about creative writing and poetry. Her podcast, Soulful Scrolls, is her dedicated effort to the craft of poetic expression. Soulful Scrolls, the book launched in 2024, is a collection of her podcast poems and many more. Her poetry reflects honesty and inner peace. She joined the Gabbys Club driven by her desire to enhance her public speaking skills and grow as an influential voice to make a positive difference and inspire others. Toastmaster Priya Singh, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Harshita, for that lovely introduction. A very warm welcome to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Better words make better speeches, and we are all here to improve ourselves and become better speakers. So, as the grammarian of today's session, I will listen to each speaker very carefully and listen to the usage of the English language. I'll make note of any misuse of the English language as well as the outstanding words, quotes, phrases, sayings, thoughts that are used by the speakers. And as the grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day today. For today's meeting, the word of the day is alignment. Alignment means arrangement, order, sequence, positioning, or in other words, brought into proper line or proper arrangement. Some examples of the usage of alignment in sentences are: the school has to bring its programs into alignment with the state board. Number 2 can be stars were in alignment during the eclipse. I encourage all the speakers and role takers to use the word of the day during their speeches and roles. And I will come back at the end of the session when called upon by the general evaluator with the word of the day report as well as the grammarian's report. Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I request you to take the meeting further in alignment with the agenda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya Singh. I hope we use a lot of references about word of the day in today's meeting. With that said, we'll go next. Moving forward, we have the listener for today, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh Sandhu. So, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh Sandhu personally believes that they are on a journey to be an impactful communicator and professional communicator. Professionally, they are a territory business manager, a recent entrant to the corporate world, trying to juggle never ending tasks. With that said, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening to the guests and the members. As listener of the day, I will be listening closely to everything said in the meeting. And towards the end, I'll be asking questions to test our listening skills. And as we know that before becoming a good speaker, we need to be a good listener. So I would request everyone to please pay close attention. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh. With that, I conclude the introduction for general evaluation and back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita and team, for your introduction. Now let's align ourselves to the next section of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches section. First speech today will be given by Toastmaster Sumit Sethia, who will be evaluated by two evaluators, Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Sanjay Jain, and Evaluator 2, Distinguished Toastmaster Rita Harlalka. Can the speaker and evaluators please confirm your availability?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, I'm available.
Is uh, Distinguished Toastmaster Rita present?
Yes, I'm here. I'm very much.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. With that, let me introduce to you the speaker one. Sumit is originally from Agra and currently works in Bangalore. He has a background in fashion industry, specializing in sourcing leather products. He strongly desires to become a public speaker and confidently addresses large audiences. Having worked in 5 different cities across India, he is passionate about exploring new places. He also loves traveling to the mountains, especially trekking. In his free time, he loves watching sports, especially lawn tennis and football. His project details are as follows. Toastmaster Sumit is attempting level 3, project 1 of the presentation mastery path. And the project title is Persuasive Speaking. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Timer, please note that the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Sumit Sethia, when you can't do much, do this. When you can't do much, do this. Sumit Sethia.
Toastmaster of the day, could you confirm if my voice is audible?
Good.
Yes.
In 2020, like many others, I lost my job when our office shut down during COVID. I remember sitting on my couch, holding phone in hand, staring at the email that confirmed it. They did not give any time to prepare. Just gone in a day. I had lots of questions, lots of fear, confusion. Where would I go? The one thing I didn't realize at that time was losing a job isn't about income. It's about identity. But I wasn't the only one who lost the job. Alongside me, our country manager, strong, experienced leader, also lost a position. Our entire team lost the job in one day. Our country manager led the office operations with strength, strategy, and authority. She had respect and numerous numbers of experience behind her. But once the office was liquidated, she was just another job seeker in the already frozen job market. And suddenly, her high salary, huge number of experience became obstacles, not assets. While I started rebuilding myself, I connected with different industry professionals, started applying to different job portals. Slowly, I found a rhythm. But I kept thinking about her. Since she was the country manager, she need to look out at senior leadership positions. That wasn't available in the already tough market. Fewer number of openings, more scrutiny, less sympathy. She had managed quite big offices, spoken at various conferences, led huge teams. And now she was staring at the different job portals that offered half her pay and none of her scope. She told me once, Sumit, it's like being overqualified and invisible at the same time. I kept wondering, what could I do to help her? I wasn't a recruiter. I didn't have any connections in executive search firms. I didn't have to offer much, but I had one thing: job listings. As soon as I spot any relevant job opportunity, I immediately forward it to her. Just a simple single line WhatsApp message, no pressure, no expectation, hey Bandhanjeet, this might be worth checking it out. I didn't do it every day. Maybe once a week or twice a month. And I did it for 4 years. One day, I received a message from her that she finally landed a new role through someone in her own network. But do you know what she said? She said, "Thank you, Sumit. You were the only one who kept checking in the last 4 years. Not because I got her a job, not because I solved anything, but because I kept showing up." And that's what I want to share with you all today. Support doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. In a world that moves fast, where people disappear the moment they lose status or success, the tiny, consistent act can leave deeper impressions. We often think we need to have answers, but people don't need your solutions. They just need your presence, a reminder that someone still cares. Think of someone who is going through a tough time. You might not be able to solve their problem, but maybe you can send a message. You can tell them you are not forgotten. We all have one friend who is working in a toxic job, who is going through a divorce, or a student who is overwhelmed by exams. We don't have to fix them, but we can say, "I am here." Because when you can't do much, do this. Be matter. It matters more than you think. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
That was a touching story with a lovely message at the end. Thanks, Sumit. Now we move to the second prepared speech that would be brought to you by Toastmaster Smruti, Sagarika, Mohanty, who will be evaluated by two evaluators, Toastmaster Pushkal and Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Can the speaker and evaluators acknowledge their
Yes,
presence?
yes, I am here.
Yeah.
Is Toastmaster Pushkal here? Yeah,
Yes,
I see. Yes.
yes, I am here.
As Toastmaster Smruti was already introduced earlier, we will move directly to her project details. Toastmaster Smruti is attempting level 4 project 2 of presentation mastery path. The project title is Public Relations Strategies. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of their public relations strategy. Timer, please note, the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. A small disclaimer, the speaker is using a hypothetical situation to demonstrate the project. Smruti, Sagarika, Mohanty, hug in a mug, Smruti, Sagarika, Mohanty.
Have you ever been so cold, so tired, so emotionally microwaved by life that all you really needed was not advice, therapy, a TED talk, but a bowl of soup? Raise your hands if you ever have experienced that a soup has healed you more than any kind of motivational talk. Can I see a raise of hand? Okay. Don't tell me I'm the only one who is emotionally dependent on my lentils. Oh, I see few. Okay, thank you so much. It happened to me. Or let me put it like this. Something happened to me in a rainy Monday. I was soaked, sulking, and one caffeine shot away from an emotional collapse when a girl waved me from across the street into a small club room and handed me a mug and said, "You look like you need a hug," in a mug. And friends, just like that, something happened. It got tastier after that. Now, weeks later, I joined the Soup Society. You want to know how it was appearing when I joined the society? Now, if you're keen, then just scan through your chat box. This is how the Soup Society was initially. I was all excited, curious to explore the soup more. I joined the club, but the joy turned into concern after a few weeks. The club had soul, but no audience, no new member, no buzz in the market. We all were quite upset and concerned at the same time. People thought we were a support group for some retired carrots and vegetables. But it was not the case. So we, as a club, decided to stir the spot and the spot together. We proposed a public relations strategy, and the club nominated me to head the mission forward. Well, our public relations strategy was not a bland press release, but a recipe filled with few flavors and a lot of feelings. Now, first one, our intent was very clear. We divided it into 3 preliminary categories. The first category was important for all of us, which is to find our flavor. Again, I request each one of you to slide into your chat once again because this was our first step. To identify the flavor, we asked ourselves what we really want. What are we really serving? Not just soup, it was warmth, connection, comfort. We were not a food club, we were feelings. And in alignment to that feeling, we had our brand message: a hug in a mug. Don't you think this sounds more interesting, captivating than the previous banner which I shared? From the Soup Society to a hug with a mug. If you feel aligned, please do not hesitate to share your emoticons in the chat or on your screen. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meeta. Now that took us to our second stage. Our flavors were in place. Now what? What's the goal? Our goal was on the boil. We had 2 straight goals in our soup box. One is to increase the awareness by 50% in 8 weeks. And the second one was to redefine our club's warmth, inclusive, and favorable environment. With that intent, our second step was progressing well. That took us the third master stroke, our third strategy, which was served quite hot for you. And here it comes. Our third strategy had 5 points of contacts, the 5 points where we decided to do the public branding. The first one is the print poster, the print media, the quiet age-old one. We decided to create circular, like soup bowl banners with a line that, "Feeling empty? Find your bowl and your soul." I hope that's a catchy one. The second one was we decided to tap onto the digital market and we used Instagram with a tagline of soup stories. Short Instagram reels of members who are sharing their funny, real, and touching moment around the soup. Spoiler alert, we had tears. Free for feelings and free from onions. Okay, the third one was the event part. We tried something called Try a Ladle Tuesdays. Scan the QR code and the soup is on us. The fourth one was the partnership. We got into a collaboration with nearby cafeteria. We decided to create cafeteria table covers and put slogans like hot, single, soups, get inside. I don't know how that worked, but we did try that. And the fifth one was the most powerful one, was the word of mouth. We introduced a campaign called Bring a bowl, buddy. With this campaign, we allowed people to bring friends, family, peers to our club. And the reward was a mug in return with a tag, of course, hug in a mug. If you're keen to know the results and the excitement, I am going to share a PDF with you which you can run through. But let me tell you one highlighting thing. The audience and the attendance rose barely from 10 to 40 plus. The reels got shared, posters were noticed, and hug in a mug became an emotional elevator pitch for us. We were not just serving soup, we served belongingness. So that was our PR strategy for our soup club. So next time, when you feel unheard, unseen, unattended, don't shout louder. Use the PR strategy. Identify the purpose, your goal, and the right strategy to tap onto your right audience. So instead of shouting, just shimmer your message, season it with sincerity, and serve with a purpose. Because at the end of the day, public relationship or the public relation is like making soup. You need the right ingredient, little warmth, and something, and sometimes is feelings, just like a hug in a mug. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks, Toastmasters Smruti. That was indeed a masterclass on marketing club within 5 to 7 minutes. As I'm reading the personal MBA book, I got a lot of content. I was just relating a lot of things there. I would check the PDF later, but I would hereby like to ask the timer to tell if there are any disqualifications in prepared speeches.
No, all qualified.
Thank you. Now, given we are running late on time, I will straight away continue the theme. Let me share my screen for that. Yes, comes the another hot part after one masterclass, which is sharing the applications of AI. So this is a table that you guys can scroll through. I again asked AI to generate. Actually, a lot of content here would be AI generated, which I think you can go back and ask different AI models as I'll give you tips and tricks how to ask them. But I want to go a little deeper into how I use the different GPT AI models. So first thing that I heard in some podcast was that we have the best of the best mentors in our pockets now. The podcaster gave some example of some US president who used to write speeches while he used to be in his bathroom, and their secretary used to stand outside and note whatever he used to think. We literally have the best of the best secretaries, the best of the best mentors, guiders who we can take help from just by starting a simple audio or a chat session. I will get into the audio side of things in a while, but what are the other things can we use AI for? From brainstorming, where let's say you want to get certain ideas, you have some random idea, you can just keep talking, keep prompting it to go deep, just try to figure out as in what is trying to reply and how can you think of. So a suggestion here would be think of it as not as a tool but as a team member. You are asking them to help you in certain things, and let's say they may not perform very good, which they will perform in like in a very little time, but now you should think of them as a team member where you augment them by telling them where they are not doing well or explaining what exactly do you need. So yeah, brainstorming, market research. I will get into each examples of each of these things through my chats with different models. But for now, I'll just give you like what is other things I do. Book and course suggestions. So let's say I am not able to do something very well. So recently I got to know that I am not doing the execution in my job very well. So I just went to GPT and just told what are the issues that I am facing. And it gave me a list of 5 books that I can start looking at or reading. And then I asked it that this is my exact condition currently, and what would be the one book you would suggest and why? And then it suggested me The Effective Executive, and it is a wonderful book. So as earlier, these suggestions would have to be from some mentors whom I would just go and travel. Now I have a world of knowledge that understands my intentions through chat. Coding, content generation, I think we'll go into the demo part later. Planning and staying updated. Planning, you can plan trips, you can plan your day, and a lot of things. The more context you give to these models, they will help you structure your plans very well. You wouldn't have thought the way they will help you plan your things like trips, etc. They literally go deep into understanding you are following this route. There are these restaurants you like North Indian. I would suggest these 5 restaurants, you should give it a try. So yeah, try planning and staying updated. So these days there is a dilemma that whether we should learn about first principles or try to stay updated as the technology moves forward. I also had that. Being a software engineer, I am literally at a risk of losing my job. So I have to stay updated more than ever. So I asked GPT to create a prompt that I'll give to another GPT chat that will help me stay updated. I just told it that I am interested in these all topics. Why don't you create a chat that will every day bring me the top news or developments in certain field? And I'll show you that chat also. Then data analysis, analyzing your meetings, Toastmaster speeches. You can literally dump the note takers text into a GPT and ask it to analyze. It will the accuracy and finish with which it does these analysis. You'll be shocked to hear. Like just take one text, one meeting, and just give it to GPT and it'll see. Workflows. You can write workflows. Of course, you can write as in there. It needs some models, I think, need a pro version for this, where you can write certain mundane tasks that you want GPT to perform. For example, for staying updated, I have written a prompt and I can ask it to send it to my mail every day. It can remember at 7 a.m. it has to go and send those details. And there are a lot more. These are just few examples that I have been using AI for. And then I got to you some really great applications from my team members, from my friends who have been using AI very much for their productivity. First thing, for vocal and video analysis, you can literally open any chat model now, ask it to turn the audio option. Like you can just go and just turn this voice mode on, and you have somebody who you can talk to. And it is so good. I have tried Gemini, Google's Gemini a lot, and it does really well. It's like you're talking to a real person. Going back, for video analysis, you can record a video of you doing something and ask it to analyze. A senior of mine gave me a really good example. He was cooking something someday, and he didn't know if the paste was dense enough. So he started his video and he just did this in front of the GPT, and it told that the dish you are trying to make, this paste is too thin for that. So he asked, what should I do? It told him what to put, and when he later did it, now it does better. So that's the level of creativity or innovation you can show while you're trying to use these models. Once you get to analyze the power of these, just give it a try. Vocal and video analysis, you'll love it. Another thing could be where folks are using different models to put their papers, the textual things, into some model and ask it to generate a podcast. And while they walk or do some certain activity, they are listening to those texts in the form of podcast. And at any time, they can ask the AI that they want to enter that podcast. and they can go inside the podcast and ask the questions from AI. Other thing is giving whatever context you have, like let's say you have some problem, you have some documents, you have some code, anything. Context is anything that can help AI make better decisions. Give to it and start asking questions. You can literally upload documents from here. I'll show a hands-on later, but this is the place. You can upload CSV files, your text files, your photos, etc., and ask it to do things, do analysis for you. Again, I told you about how folks are using for cooking, analyzing what plants, and what to shop for. They will tell what do they exactly need. So one of my another seniors, they had a baby and they wanted to buy a stroller. They had certain requirements, which I don't think any shopping platform would have been able to justify just putting it in search. So he put that into some GPT model and asked it that his requirements, and asked it to give the products within India within certain budget, and it brought 5 products, and then it asked which one would work best for him, and it suggested something, and he bought, and he's very happy. And these are just a few use cases that I could bring on, and in next sessions, I promise I'll bring more. But for now, we will end the theory part here. We will now move to the next segment of the meeting, which is general evaluation session. For general evaluation, I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Harshita, to provide her report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur, for that artificial intelligence masterclass. With that said, I would like to call upon Evaluator 1 for their evaluation report.
Yeah. Can I take? Yeah. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, Sumit in particular. Today I had a privilege of listening to a deeply moving and purpose-driven speech titled "When You Cannot Do Much, Do This." This project focuses on persuasive influence, and what masterclass it was: subtle, heartfelt persuasion. Right from beginning, Sumit drew us in with a powerful story. The moment he spoke about losing his job in 2020, many of us were transported back to that time when uncertainty loomed and hope felt distant. His story was not just relatable, it was authentic, emotional, and most importantly, real. What stood out most was how Sumit used emotional as his tool of persuasion. He did not flood us with statistics or quotes. Instead, he invited us into a quiet but powerful narrative about consistency, meaningful support, the idea that support does not have to be big to be meaningful. Second, plot that to me was the heart of the speech. His storytelling was structured beautifully. We saw the problem, the structure, and the small yet significant action he took. And that action, forwarding job opportunities through a simple WhatsApp message, might seem small, but impact was monumental. It proved hope alive for someone who felt invisible. And here is where I would like to pause and ask rhetorical question: how often do we think, and unless we can make a big difference, our actions do not matter? Sumit's shattered that might. He showed us that even smallest gesture, when done consistently, can become lifeline for someone else. I also appreciate your repetition of phrases. When you cannot do much, do this. It gave the speech a strong rhythm and made the message linear. If I could suggest few improvements, one improvement is vocal variety and deliberate pauses, especially before emotional peaks like she finally got the job. There some emotion should have been brought into it, which I saw a missing in it. Happiness or something like why? Because we become emotional when we attach to the person. So that emotional was missing in it. Lastly, the closing felt slightly abrupt. Finally, I would say you qualified for this project, and all the best. I would like to listen your next speech. Thank you very much, and all the best, dear.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Can we have the second evaluator for the speaker today?
Good evening, everybody, and a very warm good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Sumit Sethia. Sumit, this was your L3P1 speech, and the path is presentation mastery. And you need to discover your persuasive style while you deliver the speech. So, the best thing about your speech was you gave a very simple speech with a very straight message, realistic message, and something which is achievable and in a very casual manner. If you look at these as your strengths, it'll take you a long way, because a lot of the times speaker focuses on too much of drama, too much of enunciation, too much of stress. But when you develop this casual style of speaking, it becomes a strength in itself. Having said so, since this is a persuasive speech, I personally feel persuasive speech is based on three broad things: ethos, pathos, logos. And this particular speech was based on pathos, the emotion. And when you talk about pathos, emotions, that should have been in your face and in your hands, in your body. Since this is a Zoom meet, I cannot comment on the overall stature, but the face could have done wonders. For example, when you were sending her repeated messages for 4 years, that's a long time. So you could have actually stressed that part, made the audience aware that someone, if is determined, can be consistent also. Sending a message for 4 years, even that takes a lot of thoughtfulness. Secondly, when you were very casual, when you have a casual style, bring in conversational also. Imagine when you're saying the same thing to the audience, and also in a persuasive speech, you forgot to address to the public. You forgot to address to the TMOD of the day. How do you persuade people when you don't address them? My dear friends, Toastmaster of the day. In 2020, I lost my job like many others. So this is how you jog their nerves. Persuasion can never happen unless and until you jerk the people. So keep up the casual style, keep up the simple speeches, keep up the plot real straight, and something not to be out of the box always to persuade people, but at the same time, make it conversational, make it a little more emotional. When you think about emotions, if you think about logos, then logic. If you think about ethos, then credibility. And also, now, there are another three ways of a persuasive speech, which is factual, value, and policy. And this was based on values, being with your friend at the times of adversity. So you could have stressed more. I personally felt that you did such a wonderful job to your friend. You were with her throughout the 4 years, giving her such a good company in the low times, but you presented it in a very plain manner. Be more forceful about it. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rita. So, firstly, I will start my evaluation starting with the speaker himself. Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit, for giving a very emotional and vulnerable speech today. I do agree with the evaluators that your speech was the point of importance mostly was in the body. With that said, it was a very well written speech. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. So, starting with evaluator one, Toastmaster Sanjay. Yes. So Toastmaster Sanjay, I will stress upon the good and the points in which you can improve. So firstly, you gave a very structured evaluation. You told on the parts where the speaker can improve, and then you moved on to the parts where speaker uh, okay, wait. The parts in where the speaker did good, and the parts in where speakers can improve. But mostly, your evaluation report was largely spent upon telling the good things where the speaker did good, but it became very abrupt, and you only mentioned one point of improvement. It did not balance the report as much. So I would advise you to give your evaluation on that criteria. So with that said, it was a very great report. Moving on to Toastmaster Rita. Thank you, Toastmaster Rita, for giving a very detailed and detailed report. You mentioned the good parts and where the speaker can improve on, for example, body language, for example, maintaining their tonality and all of those things. I would request you to have one. I would request you to control balance that report using only one analogy, and then like ethos, you mentioned ethos, pathos, and you evaluated your report on that analogy, and then you moved on to some other topic in the end, which felt like there wasn't any structure. You Evaluation reports generally tend to be very black and white. You don't have to be gray in that area. So you could mention the good parts, and then the and end with two or one matters where they can improve. So with that said, it was a very great evaluation, DTM Rita. Thank you for that evaluation report. Moving on, I would call upon the second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Evaluator 1 for the second speech.
I so that was the that was indeed a great speech. Toastmasters Smruti. So like uh, the topic public relations, like, like that was a kind of a mini master class over public relations where you have actually described the like about the about various strategies of marketing, and then like you have also concluded it with the results. Like if I talk about the best parts of the speech, like that was the vocal tonality. Like uh, uh, your vocal was dynamic throughout the speech, and like the and body language was also presented quite well, although this is the online session. Uh, but like the uh, now coming to the improvement part, like maybe the like maybe the things have gone quite smoother. For 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 example, like the so you so you mentioned that you met this girl. You met this girl, and then suddenly you said like that to going forward to join that soup society. Like that could have gone a bit smoother. Mm, yeah, and the like yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pushkal, for your evaluation report. I would like to move ahead and give the stage to Toastmaster, the evaluator two for speaker two, Toastmaster Sunil. Thank you.
Smriti, first, I would like to say that
Toastmaster Sunil, you're not audible.
You were audible, but I think you adjusted your Bluetooth and suddenly it went off. Would you like to try without the Bluetooth? No. Sunil, do you need some time to set your mic? Okay, I think there is a lag. Meanwhile, may I request the general evaluator to share your thoughts on this evaluator one evaluation by the time Toastmaster Sunil resumes back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smruti. And I will be evaluating the speaker first and then moving on with the evaluators report. So, firstly, congratulations for giving a speech and thank you for blessing us today with a very creative marketing strategy that clearly aligned with your audience's goals. So, thank you so much for giving a very creative speech. I thoroughly enjoyed it through and through. With that said, I would like to evaluate Toastmaster Pushkal. So Toastmaster Pushkal, you gave a very elaborate evaluation, and I really congratulate you on speaking up and giving that report. So one, you clearly mentioned the good parts of the speech, and then moved on to the part where the speaker could improve on. While you were mentioning the good parts, you mentioned body language and vocal variety. So one way you can improve your evaluation report would be giving an example of that, so that it sticks with the speaker's mind for long. So the part where you could have exaggerated your evaluation on telling that body language was something the speaker did great. How did she do great? So that would be a better evaluation report moving forward. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pushkal, for giving your evaluation report. Yes.
Madam General Evaluator, we are still waiting for Toastmaster Sunil to join. So I would request you to please proceed. By the time he joins, he can deliver his evaluation. You can proceed with the TAGL team, please.
Thank you. Sure. So, Toastmaster Saroj, Toastmaster Saroj Rathod, could you give your evaluation report?
Yes, I will. Just a moment. I'm sharing the screen. Just a moment. Hope you can see this sheet. General evaluator and people. Okay. So everyone qualified today. Only two people use the grace period. One is Toastmaster Smruti and other one is Toastmaster Rita, DTM Rita. All qualified in today's speech. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Over to you, General Evaluator Harshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saroj, for giving a very detailed report. I will start your evaluation while you came during the first time or first part of the meeting. You mentioned the rules of the role taker. You clearly told what were the timings when the cards will be up. Good job done there. A few points which I would mention for you to be a great role taker next time around uh, would be if you want to make your role interesting, you may include your take on the theme. That way it makes your role more, you know, more interesting and more included in the meet. Other than that, there was a little bit of lag on your side. Maybe that is some technical issue, but you may want to check that next time around. With that said, thank you so much for taking this role, and please give it up for Toastmaster Saroj.
Madam General Evaluator, our evaluator is back. May I request you to please allow him to share his evaluation?
Sure. Toastmaster Sunil, can we have your evaluation report?
Meanwhile, Toastmaster Saroj, I would request
Yeah.
you please stop us sharing your screen.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Sorry for bearing this, me. Okay. Smruti, what a title it was. Hug in a mug. And it puzzled me. What a mug. A cup of tea, a pack of alcohol, or another. But it came out different. A bowl of soup. I never thought of. I think nobody here have thought of about it. It can be a bowl of mug, a bowl of soup. You were full of energy with full of hand gestures. The speech were well, was well off with your hand gestures. You presented PR strategies in the form of serving soup. You showed three steps of serving soup and making a society and relations with people with your hand gestures, vocal variety, movements, everything, everything you used. It was a total presentation. How you could present your speech. I know that you can do this. Now, everyone has to improve. There is always room for improvement. You showed 3 steps with 3 slides, and you showed your slides in the chat box. So first, you have to click on the chat, and audience has to click on the chat. So you engage the audience to do a work. I think instead you could have used PPT. So at least you engage yourself to show the slides, but audience can easily show the slides. They are enjoying your speech. And hug in a mug. How do we hug? Tell me. Like this? No, we hug like this. So hug was missing in the entire speech. I don't know how you missed that. At a point, you served a bowl of soup like this. I always serve a bowl of soup or anything like this. And if you could have used visual aids, a bowl, it would certainly be a cherry on the cake for your speech. So ultimately, it was an informational humorous speech, and you presented the speech. You know, narrated, presented the speech, but you could have used some visual aids, bowl of soup, and you have improved your hand gestures. What you are going to show, then it was a perfect speech, I would say, in Toastmasters. Thank you. I wish that you will incorporate these recommendations. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Toastmaster Saroj, can I know if the evaluation report was in time?
Yes, in time.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Saroj. Toastmaster Sunil, thank you for giving a very well structured evaluation report, a very detailed evaluation, one of the detailed evaluations that I've heard so far. You summed up the evaluation report. You started with the good points, the points where the speaker can improve on. Very well structured. I'm I don't think I have any feedback for you as of now. So very well done job. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Can we have a good round of applause for Toastmaster Sunil and Toastmaster Smruti? Moving on, I would like to call upon the R counter for their evaluation report, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. Can we have you on the stage?
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita. Here is my R counter report for today's meeting. I encourage all speakers to keep practicing and be mindful of filler words, interjections, crutch words, repetitions, and noticeable pauses to enhance clarity and impact. Back to you, Toastmaster Harshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta Jain, for giving us your report. The first time in the first session of the meeting, you clearly mentioned the rules of your role, and you clearly stood with your rules and gave your role very neatly. One point of improvement would be every counter can tell how many hours and how many crutch fillers they have in their sentences. But if you have to go further and if you have to be a better role taker, then you might want to tell the speaker how they can avoid an or in their sentence. That is by, for example, that might be by giving a meaningful pause, meaningful, breathtaking and all of that. So that can help a speaker to be a better speaker. So at the end of the day, all of us want to improve ourselves, right? So that way we can do that thing moving forward. With that said, kudos and great job done. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Mamta?
Thank you.
Moving forward, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Priya Singh for their report.
Yes, thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Harshita. I'll just quickly share the screen. 1 minute. Just bear with me. Yeah. Is it visible? The Grammarian's report? Okay.
Currently, we just see the file manager.
Sorry, you can't see the. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's loading. 1 minute.
I think it opened for Priya, but we are not able to see it.
So Priya, you have to share the PPT screen, not the Windows screen. So you have shared another screen, but yeah.
Sorry for that. Just a minute.
No worries.
I'll try
Now
again.
you can show.
Yeah, thank you. Is it visible? Oh, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah. Now is it visible? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, the word of the day was alignment, which meant arrangement, order, positioning, sequence, or simply put, brought into line or proper arrangement. And unfortunately, I don't think anyone used the word of the day today. I would really appreciate if in this coming sessions, every speaker makes a conscious effort, because it's like an impromptu word that is given on the last minute. So please try to use the word of the day in your speech, even if it's the role taker or the evaluator or the speakers. All of y'all, I would request y'all to use the word of the day consciously. And it was only yours truly who did use it in the beginning. Some excellent use of words in this session today. Hug in a mug, job portals, serve with a purpose, inclusive, shimmer, vulnerable, consistency, monumental, invisible, stature. A rhetorical question was put forth by Toastmaster Sanjay Jain. How often do we think that unless we make a big difference, our actions don't matter? Another very nice phrase or metaphor that was used by Toastmaster Sunil Gupta was cherry on the cake. Going further, we had lovely phrases today. Out of the box by Toastmaster Rita, distinguished Toastmaster Rita Harlalka. Feeling empty, find your bowl and your soul. We serve not only soup, but also belongingness, both in the speech of Toastmaster Smruti, Sagarika Mohanty. When you cannot do much, do this, Toastmaster Sumit. Some recommendations: huge number of experience could be huge number or large number of years of experience. In a rainy Monday, could be on a rainy Monday. A girl waved me. A girl waved at me. Staring at different job portals could be staring at different job portals. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya, for a very detailed and a very creative report. I've never seen a PPT being presented for a grammarians report. That's a very creative end from your side. Uh, one area of improvement would be to be a little better prepared for your evaluation report. I understand there can be a little bit of technical difficulties, but if we could remove or eliminate them, I think your job can be done in a very, very good way. With that, can we hear it for Toastmaster Priya? Without a further ado, let's move on to another, the last team member from my team, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh. Can we have your listeners report?
Yes, thank you, Jain Evaluator. So, in alignment with my responsibility of the role, I'll be asking questions from the session. So, the first question is, by profession, are TMOD for the day Ankur is?
Software engineer.
That's correct. And our GE for today is in which year of her business studies?
Final year.
Yeah, that's correct. And uh, name of the podcast which Grammarian Priya Singh has started. Name of the podcast started by Grammarian Priya Singh.
Spotify, yes, Spotify.
Soulful Scrolls.
That's correct. What was that?
Oh, it's me, Smruti.
Okay. Let's have it for our speaker, Smruti. And what was the speech title of our first speaker, Sumit Sethia?
When you can't do much, do this.
That's correct. What was that?
Toastmaster Priya.
Let's have it for Toastmaster Priya. And
Grammarian.
Grammarian. So, what was the campaign ran by Speaker Smruti as a part of their 5-way strategy for their club?
Hug in a mug.
Heart in the mug.
Hug in a mug.
Hug in a mug.
So that was the title of the speech, not the campaign name. Campaign name was something different.
PR, public
No.
strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
Did you?
okay. So I guess that is Cup Buddy. Am I right, Speaker Smriti?
Yeah. Bring a buddy. Yeah, it's close.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So that was from my side. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gurdeep, for your listeners' report. We had a very fun session during your report. So you did your job very greatly. You came the first time around. You came and you explained how the role will be for the benefit of guests and members. One way you can improve your role would be during the next session, during the end session of the meeting. You can talk about the rules. Like, I will be asking 3 questions, and I would want all the role takers to indulge in this, and maybe they can raise their hands. This way it will be in a more systematic way, and that way everyone could engage. So with that said, a very great job done. Can we have it for Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh? With that done, I would like to move ahead with the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster. Can we have the Sergeant at Arms?
Sudhir.
Is Sergeant at Arms here? Yes, Toastmaster Sudhir, thank you so much for starting the meeting today with a very you felt that there was 100th meeting energy while introducing, so you were very energetic when you came around and you told clearly that this is the 100th meeting, and you had that aura today. And you moved on and talked about the club's mission. Very well done job there. And then you talked about the rules and regulations for the benefit of guests and new members. a very structured essay role you did there, and these were the good points. One point of improvement would be, as the essay, you're the first speaker, and when you're introducing the presiding officer, you have the power to introduce them, so you have to do it in a way that validates them. So a little bit of energy while introducing the presiding officer may have done the job better. With that said, a very great job as an essay today. Thank you so much for coming to the meeting and blessing us with your speech. Thank you so much. Moving on, we have the presiding officer, Toastmaster Smriti. Yes. Thank you, Toastmasters Smriti, for you're the president, right? Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Smriti, for consistently showing up and giving your speeches. You talked about how it is a major milestone in the club today, as we are celebrating 100th meeting. You told it in a very well structured way, and then you went on to introduce the guests and the new members. You had audience engagement, that is your job to do, a very well done job there. And then you also mentioned on how you can engage the audience virtually. I know it's very hard to engage audience virtually, but then you specified that people can use the chat box and use the reactions to uplift the speakers, whoever are coming on the screen. So a very well done job there. uh, in our uh, in our Toastmasters club, there's a tradition where we talk about how Toastmasters was introduced. It was introduced by Ralph C. Smedley in 1924 in California. That is how that is something that we include in every presidential speech. So you might want to take that up. So other than that, a very great job done. A very seasoned speaker, I assume. So thank you so much for giving your speech today. Can we hear it for Toastmaster Smriti? Moving on, we have the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ankur. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting an artificial intelligence masterclass today, but thank you for giving us that. Very great Toastmaster of the day address today. You had audience engagement, you had a masterclass plan today. You also kept us at I personally was at the edge of my seat when you were telling that this is something that I will be doing next. This is what I'll be doing next. So it was a very surprising, and I was impressed. You taught me about prompt session. You taught me how to develop an app. So maybe I'll be making some money in future. With that said, these were some of the great things you did as a Toastmaster of the day. While during the introduction, you had a meme in the PPT. Audience would want to know what that means. So if you would have explained it, or if you would have done it in a better way, or explained it to the audience in a better way, it would have made their day, or would have helped them. Other than that, there was a session after this, after all the speakers had given their speech. While you were giving a theory session, you were talking about how you can prompt your chat GPT better. At that time, I felt like it got a little monotonous. You did not have audience. One way of improving that would be having an audience engagement, or asking them better. If you were in my situation, how would you have prompted it? That way it could have been more engaging and more interesting. Other than that, it was a very great and creative Toastmaster of the day address. So with that said, thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankur. Can we have it for Toastmaster Ankur? With that, I am done with my report and back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Harshita, for the evaluation session. Now it's movie time. What I have in store, I'll just present my screen and bring to you what all I talked and how all I do it. So from this presentation, whatever I showed you, I used a lot of these tools you see here, from search to reason to deep research to create image to come up with the presentation. And as you can see on the left sidebar, that how I use AI personally in day-to-day life. I'll go into each of the prompts that I do. Let's start with the presentation. I had a very vague idea in mind that I would want to share some tips and tricks. It did a little structure, it gave a little structure to my presentation. And then I asked it to make it just the crude ideas I am throwing at it. I just want it to be like story, and then it started coming up with a hook. How can I engage the audience, and how the structure of the slides could look like. Then I'm just doing a hands-on, as in like how would you talk to it in terms of as in asking it to improve certain things. So let's say I noticed that it was giving, just because it has a lot of context about me, that I am a software developer, a lot of things it suggested was around tech. So I just told it, why can't you make the presentation generic? And then it did. Next prompt. I was thinking of starting with the asking audience a question first, and this. What are the pros and cons of this approach? When you ask GPT to analyze certain ideas of yours, always ask it in the form of pros and cons. And also, how can I create a better hook? It gave me like, what are the pros, what are the cons? I can improve them. Gave me a good hook that I can start with. And I gave it a little more details. And here a point I would want to add is, the more context or details you add, the more detailed your message, the better you will expect it to perform, because it is trained on the whole internet. So it has its own ideas. Now, if you want to fine tune it to give something as per you, you have to guide it that way. So yeah, I asked it to create a presentation, and it did pretty well. Like, I didn't use it actually, but yeah, like it went through some tool that it had integrated. You guys can give it a try in ChatGPT. Under the Explore GPT section, you will find a lot of tools that can help you create presentations, create workflows, etc. So yeah, that was the presentation side of things. Now let me go a little deeper into how I use AI every day. Of course, creating posters and content for being a VBPR, and it's not that easy as you think. It's not just simple asking it to generate image and it will generate. It did something. I asked it to be a little creative and techy, so that, and just remove the whole text. That's where it did. Doesn't look cool enough and tech enough. Use some creativity. It brought something. This is good. Text is incorrect. So you have to keep prompting it as a partner, that, and it improves. And then it learned it on over the time. If you see, I have separate sections for doing certain things. So let's say VBPR Toastmasters, I have kept it so that it keeps the content. So now it generated the image. It knows to generate the image in this shape, because in the initial sessions, I have prompted it to do that way. So if you see here, I just asked it to generate content. I told who is the host, what's the date, and here was the whole content. So yeah, you can use its memory, the short-term memory. These are called sessions that you see here. It remembers certain session memory in certain threads, so you can reuse it. You don't have to type certain things again and again. That's why I have like contextual things separated. You can also have a deep memory where you can ask AI to remember certain things permanently across the threads. You just have to say, my name is something, or from now on, you remember that I'm a software engineer, and it will across threads remember those things. Yep. Moving on. Here, next thing that I showed you was that you can upload any file into this section, which is add photos and files, and you can then ask and do any analysis. I have done literally deep analysis on some financial data, taking in my bank statement and just uploading it from here and asking it, where do I spend? And these kind of questions. So just say, I didn't tell it what it was. I just told it, tell me what does the doc look like. It knew what it had, and it had some information. And like I can keep asking questions based on the file I can give. So yeah, instead of typing everything, you can also give files. Moving on, I use it to ideate over certain project business use cases, asking it to deep research on something. Let's say I had a question and I wanted it to go deep, and it literally went deep. It explored the internet for 5 minutes, brought 35 searches, did 105 searches to bring this product research document for me, that what all I can do, from where I can start, what industries can I target, or what else can I do. And I have certain threads, like I'll just keep moving on here. So let's say I wanted to analyze the market here, like sector should I target? It just gave me the percentage of manufacturing sector in India has, and where my use case would fit, and where should I target next, and so on. And there are some simple tasks that you can ask it to do. So let's say I was watching a video on YouTube, and it is my habit to take out notes. So I cannot keep writing this big of a prompt, text, and convert into text. I just upload the image and I ask it, just give out the test. And if you see, it's pretty accurate. Like it just took out whatever it was there in the image, and now I can simply copy and move it to text. You can write workflows also here. So let's say you can write workflows that whenever I give you an image, you copy this into certain text file. That is available on the pro version. I am not selling any of this, but yeah, like some of my seniors, they have taken $20 pro version for this only. They can create workflows, they can use better models. So in 3 versions, you get basic models, and this is just Chat GPT we are looking at. There are a lot of models like Gemini. You can do again a lot of text research here. And one approach that I would suggest you, then there is something called Perplexity, and there is Claude. There are a lot of models like ChatGPT that you can go and do your conversation with. A very good approach that I figured out was that, let's say you ask certain stuff, same prompt, you can give it to all these GPTs and ask them to like give the answers. You have 4 or 10, there are multiple models existing today, and you have 10 very experienced, mature folks at your service to give you the expert opinions. And one interesting tip here is, let's say once you do, there is, I don't know, this trick is called something competitive. You tell GPT to do something, and then you tell Gemini that, see, GPT did this and it didn't do that good. Why don't you do it? And then you pass that on to Perplexity, to Claude, to other models, and you'll see how they keep refining. And you can just go back and ask. So for the things like creativity, where you're writing articles and you don't want plagiarism, or you are doing some research, folks at my office are writing literally research papers on it using AI. They will just say that this is my use case. Let's go deep. It will give some high level. Let's go deep into this point. Then it will go deep into that point. They'll learn a lot. They'll keep transferring that knowledge from one model to the other model. Yeah, moving on. As I told, I ask it for book recommendations, where depending on what situation I am in. And this is one of the finest things I did recently, not very early. So what I asked is, like, I was in a dilemma, as I told, that how do I keep up with ever-moving technology? So what I did was, I asked it to create a prompt where I told it that, why don't I want to get updates from you on certain things? Why don't you write a prompt for me? So whatever prompt you see, right, you're a strategic technology business analyst and all, my personal profile, what I'm interested in, and how do I want my result to look like. This GPT itself generated, I just had to plug in date, and that's it. And there I get like a daily summary of what's happening in the areas I am interested in every day. And this again can be created as a workflow where AI will remember that every day at 7 a.m. it has to send mail of these updates. Cool. There are a lot of other things that like I could go on, but the most interesting one for the teaser of which I gave you at the start of the session, which was building a website in 1 hour just with English text. So the tools that we saw are the chat models where you literally chat, or maybe they have started becoming multimodal in the sense they can talk, they can analyze video also. Then there are specific tools, if you've heard of, if you are in software engineering, Cursor, Windsurf, a lot of tools, and they may be in your domain also. I think Toastmaster, somebody I remember told that they were using it for creativity, for writing poetries, or I think the stories. So there are specific tools that are, there are specific AI models that are refined to do certain tasks for you. So let's say there are models that will do creative things like writing, or let's say some content generation. There are tools that specialize in image generation and video generation. Now I bring to you the code generation side of things. So if you see, I gave it a very simple prompt in English, and I'm telling you, being a software engineer, I am a backend engineer, and I don't know any front-end languages. So this was a task a friend gave me, thought I was too smart, I'll be able to figure it out, and AI helped me earn some money. So I just gave it in English that what all I needed. It came up with something. Then it stopped again. I told it that something is happening. And it gave me a website that was running. Literally just clicking on this would run. So if you don't know what to do, you can just ask it, how do I run this? It will just ask you to do the next step. I told it that top part doesn't look good. Cool. Still the text is cut and improper. If you just see, I am not telling it anything to code. This is the logo of the company. I passed the image here to add the logo. And if you see, it will keep doing stuff and it will keep coming back. And you can treat it like a child. Looks pretty bad. Revert logo change. I want you to, inspired by colors and design, I'll add image myself. Let's say the design doesn't look that cool. Let me share with you some images of the bottle. I don't see much of it. Don't see much of it. Get inspired from Apple's website and build something cool like that. So it literally went to Apple's website, saw how they have built their website, and brought to me a really good stuff. And wherever I see, I can keep talking to it and it will keep improving. So yeah, that is one use case that I have been using a lot of AI for. And before we move on, I just want to add a few things here that you will come up with a lot of innovative and creative use cases. With that, I would like to give you some tips and tricks, such as how can you use AI better? So first, it itself suggested, I just asked it, like, I know certain tricks, why don't you tell some things for my audience? And there are different tips and tricks which you can give. I can share these later also. You can ask it to role play. You can ask it that you are the expert designer in certain field. Why don't you design something for me? And then when you ask questions, it knows that what kind of answers are you expecting. Chain of thought, which is like asking it to, whenever there is a deep problem, you ask it to think step by step. Whenever you ask it to think step by step, it will do better in reasoning tasks. As I told, this is called prompt testing, by the way. You can leverage multiple AI models to get your answers. Contextual clarity, the more clear and specific and detailed your prompts are, the better the answers would be. Engaging in a conversational loop, you keep talking, you keep helping it, and it will keep getting you better answers. Lazy prompting is ask it something very basic. Don't give a lot of context. Try it out, and if it does not work, then you try to detail the prompt. Prompt is something you write while you ask the question from the AI. And yeah, like you can ask in a lot of different ways. And this is again not an exhaustive list. You can, this whole presentation was created by AI, by the way. So you can literally go pick up a use case and ask it to do certain things for you. Like if you are into a certain field, ask it to generate recommendations. How can you use AI better? And there is a little homework from all of you. Just go home, just pick up one use case and see how can you do better with AI. Maybe it could be analyzing your speeches, writing your speeches, or doing something better at your job or hobbies, etc. Yeah, with that, I come to the last section where I want to warn you with certain security and safety norms. So, one thing that we aren't yet aware of how these models use our personal data. So, beware of sharing personal images or any private data with these models. What they do is the way you chat, they learn how you were chatting, they see how you reacted to certain answer, and they reuse that data to train the model to get better. It's a simple that they aren't giving it to you free just like that. There is a huge server cost behind. It's not a simple Google search. It will go and look up a dictionary or some textual input. They run big servers behind whenever you ask certain questions to AI. They said there was this thing where the founder of OpenAI, ChatGPT, said that people saying thank you costed OpenAI millions of dollars because they had to do a lot of processing because AI had to come up with a reply. So yeah, your data will be used whenever you are using certain model for creativity. Let's say generating some content for your whatever social media or marketing or whatever. Make sure that the model or the tool that you're using, as I suggested, has written its in terms and conditions. It won't use these things to share the data with someone else. So there was a very interesting thing going on in the software world. So let's say people bought pro of something, and while asking question, they pasted that token in the prompt, and that token was a security token. Now AI learned that, oh, this can be solved with this token. When later at some point of time, somebody in the other part of the world, they asked, hey GPT, I don't have a token for this, can you give me the token? It remembered that somebody gave its token and it gives the token to them. So these kind of things, it will reuse the chats you did to while it answers somebody else's question. So be very safe with the data that needs to be kept private. Don't share any credentials, tokens, etc. Yeah, and as we move on, the you will see AI getting integrated into everything. Like if you are a follower of what advancements are happening in AI, you will see a lot of improvements from software to hardware, bringing robots, etc., into the real world is happening as we go on. So I would make like a very humble request from all of you. Like it would be good if you start using AI to fuel your creativity, improve your productivity, get smarter. The quicker you integrate, the quicker you know there's a partner who can help you with certain things, and you become more efficient. And folks not using it would like be left behind, because the future involves every job using AI to do a 10x job what they do currently. So yeah, with that, I would like to hand back to the meeting to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Smruti. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you please hear it for Toastmaster Ankur? And what a preparedness with respect to the theory content. It was indeed a class with a set homework as well. So I hope we all do the homework. And if you have any questions or any query, you know whom to approach. But thank you so much for all the role takers, for your diligent preparedness and the performance in this particular meeting. Now, as a token of appreciation and love, let's quickly vote for our favorite role taker in the respective category, which will be popping up on your screen. Now, quickly, in interest of time, as a presiding officer and in the Gabbys way, we need to share what exactly went well and where we need to work more upon. Now, what really went well is the patience of each and every individual at the time of glitch, at the time of discussion, at the time of extension. You were there throughout. You did not show any kind of discomfort by ranting on chat or through any emoticons. I was quite scared at that point of time that I encouraged them to use it. I hope they will use it wisely. And you did do that pretty well. So thank you so much for that patience. The things where we really can work upon. though it is not for any particular individual, but the woo part of our meeting was a technical glitch, unfortunately, because of few role takers. We cannot do anything about the same. Excuse me for a second. Let me sip a glass of water. Okay. I'm back. Okay, thank you so much once again for again your patience. While waiting for me, I don't know why I had a very bad cough. Okay, technical issue is what we can't do much about it. Having said that, let's try to do all these AV checks well in advance to be within time. And second part is for the meeting segment. And thank you so much, Ankur, for the preparedness. But if we can do one slide change, it's a recommendation for you. Just see if you can implement it. In TMOD is the facilitator of the entire meeting, and it is always advisable to speak 20% and let the audience speak the rest 80%. See how you can bring that balance. We can keep a check on the time, but I know AI deserves a true masterclass. So please take this topic and deliver an educational speech some other day, and we all would love to be a part of that particular session. But thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankur. So that was the woes and wows of the particular meeting, and I see votes parallelly running up. Let me meanwhile quickly check with few of our members and visiting Toastmasters who are here in the meeting with your feedback. May I now request Toastmaster Sudha. I hope you're a Toastmaster. Sudha, would you like to share your thoughts about the meeting? I see you joining in between as well. If you're still with us, Sudha Yadav. Okay. May I request Sagar? Sagar, if you're speaking, you're on mute. I did remember you sharing the emoticons for our role takers in between. Would you like to share something?
Hey, hi, it's Smruti. Yes, yeah, indeed, it's I think a very good session. I really enjoyed the whole entire meeting. I'm actually for former vice president of Toastmaster, my TCS, my three Toastmasters club, and yeah, I just wanted to see the. I think after a long time, I joined the Gabbys this meeting, and yeah, I enjoyed every part of the meeting. To summarize, and I hope to see you in many meetings in the coming days. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar, for joining our meeting and for sharing your thoughts about the same. Now, let me pick the last one who is here in my screen. Krishna, would you like to share your thoughts if you're a Toastmaster or a guest, and how was your experience joining our meeting? Krishna, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Okay, no worries. We have our last category to launch. Meanwhile, let me ask. Okay, though our TMOD spoke a lot, but still, Toastmaster Ankur, how was your experience coming back to a regular meeting and taking the role of a TMOD? A quick 30 seconds here, please.
Sure. Yeah, I think I was pushed by Toastmaster Jasprit. I was within my cocoon. I was not ready to come out again. I went back into that stage fright, and I'm so happy that she pushed me, and that's what as a team, as a group, we at Toastmasters do. That we push each other to get better, and it was a lovely experience presenting and sharing my knowledge with you all. I hope you all learned. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are glad that someone pushed and you decided to show up in our meeting. So thank you so much once again. Looking forward to many more meetings from here. Okay, on that lovely note, we have the result with me. So for the respect, do we have the result? Okay. Yep, I have the results. Now let's see for whom you have voted for the category of your favorite role taker. We had two role taker diligently doing their work so well, but your maximum vote, the favorite one is our TMOD Toastmaster Ankur Vishwakarma. Can we hear it for Toastmaster Ankur, our TMOD? I would request Zoom moderator to parallelly please spotlight the respective winners. The second category of our favorite auxiliary role taker. Today, all the auxiliary role takers did a fantabulous work with respect to their assigned duties. With your vote, the favorite one of the evening is our listener, Toastmaster Gurdeep Singh. Congratulations. The next category was our favorite evaluators. Today, the best part about evaluators, all were qualified for the polls and it was a very close call. But with your favorite, the maximum vote went to distinguished Toastmaster Rita. Can we hear it for her? And last was your favorite speaker. Thank you so much for showering your love with your votes. And it is yours truly, the second speaker, Toastmaster Smruti. Thank you so much again for your votes, your participation in the meeting, and congratulations to all the role takers. Without you, even a 1 or 100th meeting, the journey is impossible. So please keep on joining the meetings. We meet Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So the next meeting is on Thursday, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We will be there waiting for all of you for again speeches, maybe table topic marathon. Do come. And the most important part, remember my Zoom background. We welcome you, members, to please participate. There are interesting segments designed by our organizing team. Please do participate in the respective category, connect with them, know more about it, and make the day more special for each one of us. Okay, on that note, I hereby again officially close the 100th meeting of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. Take care. Bye bye.